If you just like have a murder weapon you're trying to get rid of, like I just go drop it off.
Yeah, can you imagine that scenario where person commits murder, they immediately run to one of these buyback programs, sell the gun, and then they have all these assurances from the government because that's what they do. They have these little amnesty forms that we promise we won't do anything with this
All right,
gun.
Ross.
We are the Armed Attorneys. Today we're coming to you with a little bit of a lighter story. It's a bill that passed out of the Texas House, will be going into effect very soon, and some gun grabbers in some big counties are big mad about it. But before we begin, show your support for the Second Amendment by hitting that like button. But today we're talking about HB 3053. This is by Representative Wes Verdell, and this was the subject of a lot of debate, but effectively it bans gun buybacks.
Yes, Representative Verdell, great friend to the channel, came to Richard and said, "Get me a gun buyback ban." And Richard wrote a damn good bill. And here we are with what was, and I've said it before, Ed, when I were talking about it while you were gallivanting around the world, Richard, that this was like, we were like, oh, he's just trolling. He's just trolling the left, and that, which is perfectly appropriate. We love that. But here we are. Here we are. It's a perfect troll.
You all said it's a troll. I firmly believe that this is important, was a priority, and needed to be done.
I didn't say it wasn't any of those things. I just said it was mostly a troll. And it was late in the session. There were all sorts of reasons that I was like, this is going to get him some good press and it's going to piss people off on the other side. And that's all great, but it's not going nowhere. And this is why I don't make predictions anymore.
Well,
this is because it did.
It went somewhere.
It went somewhere.
And it's already having some effects. Well, we have a clip for you in a moment. But this bill, again, and I can empath the comments. The government can't buy back something they don't own. 100% agree. That's just the short title we're using this thing, gun buyback ban.
That's what they call
That's
them.
what the government calls these things.
Yeah.
And we're going to play a clip from a sheriff in just a moment. I don't think we're going to include this part of it, but he's like, you can come to the sheriff's department, return your firearm. Like it just drives me bananas. But let's just read this because it's very short and sweet. This language, we need to have it all over the country.
Absolutely, we do. Okay, so here we've got firearm buyback programs prohibited. A municipality or county may not adopt or enforce an ordinance, order, or other measure in which the municipality or county organizes, sponsors, or participates in a program that purchases or offers to purchase firearms with the intent to 1. Remove firearms from circulation, 2. Reduce the number of firearms owned by civilians, or 3. Allow individuals to sell firearms without fear of criminal prosecution. Which, yes, why? Why is the government allowed to spend taxpayer dollars to reduce the prevalence of a constitutional right? Can you imagine if the government was like, here, sign away your right to freedom of religion.
Yeah.
We'll pay you for it. We will pay you not to be a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, what have you. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Or, think about the government paying you not to post on social media or something.
A freedom of speech issue. I mean, take literally anything but guns, and people would be like pearl clutching over it. And yet with firearms, we try to ban them, and then the pearl clutching begins.
Yeah, but there's 2 clips here I want to play, and they might even be back to back. First, a state representative talking about how the government's out of line with this.
Say a blanket statement that you can't do this one thing or another thing, I think is going too far as the state government is concerned.
Can you imagine? All right, so that's Representative Mary Gonzalez. Now,
yes, she was she the one who was talking when they started calling me a merchant of death? I think she was at that big press conference with the Giffords and with the
but it's wild. Their
Texas
entire
gun
ideology
sense.
is big government.
Their entire ideology is we love the nanny state.
Yeah. So
but not here though.
No, don't nanny this. This let them thousands of tyrants, municipalities and counties run wild. And then just this last part, it is a reporter, but it's interesting to hear.
Now, Sheriff Ugarte says his department is working to try to host one last gun buyback program event before the law takes effect on September 1st.
They're going to try to get a gun buyback in under the wire.
Slip that one in under the wire. It is just so absurd. And anyone who's watched I've watched YouTube videos where people try to go to the gun buybacks and they're like, I mean, people who are FFLs and they're like, I'll give you a better price.
Did you say that Brandon Herrera was almost arrested at one of these?
Yes, because he was there, like, basically, like, trying to buy firearms from people.
Good for Brandon.
He's an FFL, right?
Yeah, I believe
he
so,
is,
yeah.
He was, like, he was like, I will give you a better price. What are, and yeah, they were like, you cannot do this here. And they were doing everything they could. They were like, you got to go or you're going to get arrested.
Interesting.
What? Why not? What's the purpose?
No, he didn't commit a crime. Get out of here.
No, of course not.
They're just hassling him. But we know, I mean, why I sincerely believe this stuff is very, very important. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars, doesn't make people more safe. And then that last part that you talked about, let folks turn in guns without fear of, criminal prosecution. That's not a good idea.
No, that is,
and that's
not
what a lot of these cities offer.
Yes, they're offering if
they call it amnesty.
Right. If you just have a murder weapon you're trying to get rid of, I just go drop it off.
Yeah, can you imagine that scenario where person commits murder, they immediately run to one of these buyback programs, sell the gun, and then they have all these assurances from the government, because that's what they do. They have these little amnesty forms that we promise we won't do anything with this gun.
I prosecute you for anything related to this gun. Well, you remember that's what got Kim Ogg's ire all up when Harris County did it. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember.
You remember they got in a fight. I don't remember if it was the sheriffs or HPD, but one of the parties did a buyback, did an amnesty. Was it the sheriff? And Kim Ogg's office, not that I'm any great fan of Kim Ogg, was like, excuse me? We didn't tell you this was okay, and we don't want to offer them amnesty for exactly this reason. So, no, it's just wild. It's wild. It's wild what they do.
Well, we want violent, unjustified criminals locked up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how people complain about gun violence, making air quotes. No, it's the individual, it's the actor. Hold the people accountable for their actions if they're being violent or whatever. But this amnesty stuff, that was my biggest crawl. This does not make people more safe.
No, it does not make people more safe. So I will say we'll see if they can squeeze it. If El Paso squeezes one in under the wire, I can imagine that
we didn't say that. When does this law go into effect?
September 1st, 2025. So, yeah, I mean, we're coming up on that date. So, but I'd imagine if El Paso announces they're going to have one, we're going to see in quick succession, Dallas County, Harris County, Travis County, Bexar County. There's going to be ones all over the state of Texas. Try to do it. Just sneak it in.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I guess do what you got to do, but it seems to violate the spirit of new legislation that you would do that.
Yeah, but we hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you did, consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and help us fight the anti-2A algorithm by sharing this video.
And please leave us a question or comment below. Until next time, we're the Armed Attorneys.